Hello and welcome back. You find Winnie and I in the Sonoran Desert. This is kind of primo Sonoran Desert type territory here. We have 20-foot high saguaro cactus around here, maybe some 30-footers. This is the problem with walking around in the desert like this, is things like this happen. Thankfully, it's not too bad for me. Pretty significant storm moving in. All you can really see is it's all gray back here. But I've heard some thunder already. I checked the radar. That looks like there's some light rain showers coming this way. So we're going to get a little bit of sprinkle. It doesn't look like it should be anything extreme. Hopefully not. I'm actually standing in a wash and the van's right behind me just a few feet up. So if we got enough rain to raise the wash level significantly, I could be in trouble. I don't think it'll be a problem today. The rain coming this way is not thick enough. If you don't know or follow me on Instagram, I used to be a weather forecaster in the Navy, so I'm fairly knowledgeable about weather systems and how they move and what they're doing. So I generally don't look at the weather that much. I just kind of pay attention, and then if it looks like it's getting concerning, I'll check and see what I'm dealing with. And usually if there's a bad enough storm, it'll be on the news or something will filter through and I'll hear about it. So I do keep an eye on the weather, but I don't really check it that often just because I'm usually in areas where I know the parameters of the weather systems during that time of year, so I'm not too concerned. That's why I've waited till now to start heading east, south and east, because I wanted to wait for hurricane season to be over with so I wouldn't deal with any of those large-scale weather events that could potentially put me into a bad situation with like fuel prices or diesel or something like that. I can't weather storms as easy as other people can, but I can leave a lot easier than other people can. So I plan around those things. And now I really just don't want to go north and deal with nor'easters or any of those systems. So I'm going to go south and we'll see where we end up. I'm looking towards the Florida Keys, and then we'll make our way back somewhere else because that's the end of the road down there. With that, we are going to hunker down for the night. It's been a busy couple of days. Yesterday I spent 10 hours at the dealership getting all of my maintenance caught up for the 50,000-60,000 mile range. So we're pretty worn out. Today we drove from Phoenix down to Tucson after a nice, wonderful, long conversation with one of my close friends. Everything that needs to be empty is empty, and everything that needs to be full is full right now. The van is fully maintained right now. It's fully maintained, which is a huge deal for me. Everything is ready to go. I have 10,000 miles before my next oil change, 20,000 miles before my next big service, which is just a few extra filters, to be honest. So the last thing I need to take care of is my laundry. So tomorrow, the order of priority is I'm going to go check out Saguaro National Park, and I'm going to do my laundry. Saguaro National Park, that's just for me. The national parks I've been checking out for myself. There's enough influencers out there and people making videos about national parks. I don't need to make another one to show everybody that I went there. So I'm just going to show you, this was my national park tour here. This is what I expect to see in the park. If there's anything particularly special, I'll throw it in so you can see it. And the other important thing I need to do tomorrow is I need to get my laundry done. I have one more pair of underwear and then I'm out, which is kind of the red zone for laundry issues. So I'm going to get that taken care of tomorrow. Once I get laundry and check out Saguaro National Park, I'll see what else is in this area. And then we're going to be heading east for a long time before heading south for a long time. So stay tuned. It's going to be a great adventure. Welcome to the video. And of course, cue the...
If you feel it, just dance along, dance along, dance along. Yeah. If you feel it, just dance along. Got to keep the feeling going on and on. Yeah. If you feel it, just dance along, dance along. Oh, it just feels so good.
I've wasted most of the morning just kind of chilling. I've been up since 4:30, so 3.5 hours because it's almost 8 now. So it's about time I get all this pretty reasonable mess cleaned up, and then I'm going to get us out of here and go get laundry done. Hopefully we can get to Saguaro National Park by about noon, and then get through there and find a place to stay overnight. I'm really excited to get laundry done. It's the last step I need to make to get the van 100% ready to make my trip down to the Florida Keys over the next couple months or so. It's pretty crazy to have the van so well prepared. I've never had the service done, everything inside done, all my tanks in the appropriate condition, a shower, and I'm going to have laundry done today so that everything in here, including all my clothes, the jackets, the cover for my seat here, my seat covers for the front, my comforter, all my sheets, the curtain in the way back there, the curtains up front here are also going to get washed and put on there, the curtains for all the small windows. So we definitely have a lot to do, or I have a lot to do. Winnie's just going to sleep through most of it. So with that, I'm going to get all this knocked out, get the windows uncovered, get the van off of the levelers, and get out of here. This is a really small spot, so it'll be interesting to see how I get it out of here. But that's for another time. Now, I'm going to get all this put away and then get the windows uncovered and get the van moving. So I got everything cleaned up in the van. We're down off the levelers. Now we got to get out of this spot. It's a pretty tight spot, but I think we can make it. And then we'll get over to laundry, get that done, and go check out the national park. Well, that's it. I got my laundry done. We're all spiffed up in here. So I'm gonna go get my Domino's pizza because I'm really hungry, and Domino's is nearby. I just ordered it. I was charged, but apparently it didn't go through, so that's always my favorite. But we're gonna go get that checked out, and then I'm gonna make my way to the national park, and then after that we're gonna go find a place to stay. Pretty easy day, lots to get done. I'm really kind of anxious to leave Tucson, which is why I'm making the effort to go to the national park today and then get moving this evening. I'm hitting the national park and doing laundry today instead of a full day of national park because I want to move further east. I've spent quite a bit of time in the Sonoran Desert, and that's what Saguaro National Park is all about. I just want to go check it out to see if there's anything particular I'm missing out on, and I love to see the displays and stuff, so we're going to go do a quick drive through that and then get moving east and see what New Mexico has to hold here pretty soon. Well, that's it. Everything's good to go. I got all the laundry done, I got my pizza eaten, and now it's time to head to Saguaro National Park. But only 2 of us are going to Saguaro National Park, me and Winnie. You actually are going to go check out some of the local plant life that I looked at yesterday evening before the storm came. So if I act like it's the beginning of the video rather than a few scenes in, that's why. But I'm going to show you that because I get up close and personal with some of the local cactus. I can't necessarily do that at Saguaro because I have to follow the rules. That's what's nice about staying on BLM land near national parks or in the same region as national parks, because then you're going to be able to experience the national park without having to go into the actual national park preserve. That's what I'm going to show you, and then Winnie and I are going to go check out the national park for a few hours and then go find somewhere to stay. So we will see you after that. This is kind of primo Sonoran Desert type territory here. We have 20-foot high saguaro cactus around here, maybe some 30-footers all around. I have these weird, I call them, they're like devil trees. They're kind of like a yucca type thing, but they're all spines, so all this you see here is all spines. So these plants are weird. I don't know what they are. I don't know if they're a cactus or a yucca or a tree, but they look like a cross between all of them. But they have these like demon leaf things that they drop all over the ground, all down below here. And then all this bark, that's not bark, that's all spines. But down at the very bottom you can see bark that looks very similar to a normal tree. From that guy we can move over towards, I mean there's a dead one on the ground, but it would, you don't want to fall into that. So now we're going to make our way over to a saguaro and look at that guy. So here's a saguaro. It's got the like 2-inch spines, pretty tall. It's probably about 14 feet or so, estimating based on my height. Pretty big cactus there. Got these trees, which are really cool because they're kind of green. Like the branches, everything is green. Of course, it's a lovely creosote bush. This has good medicinal stuff, and you can burn it and it smells good. It burns really good. And according to Les Stroud on Survivor Man, you can use it to bathe. And that's pretty cool too. So now I'm going to go find a good prickly pear. And these guys are, this is all the stuff that's around. The last place I stayed in this area, it was, the whole ground was covered. I didn't even want to let Winter outside because all she did was get poked. Now we're actually walking through and it's not so bad. So there's definitely a lot to be said for shopping around and finding a spot that fits your needs. That's why a lot of times it's important to get in early so that you don't have to struggle when it's getting dark. But unfortunately that's just not the way it works because we have plans and things going on. So let's go find that prickly pear and then I can show you how spiny that guy is. So here's one of those prickly pears. It just has all these little pieces. These are all over in New Mexico. Like you just see them all. It's like a forest of prickly pears. It's pretty cool to see, but they're kind of, they look more like weeds down there than they look like plant life, if that makes sense. But who differentiates a weed anyway? So we'll go find that barrel cactus, which kind of completes my knowledge of plant life. I know the saguaro. Ow. Ow, ow. So this is the problem with walking around in the desert like this, is things like this happen. Thankfully, it's not too bad for me. That guy's spinning in my toes, so I'm gonna pull it out and we'll be all right. The problem is it's so sharp. Now you get an idea just how sharp those are. I barely touched that thing and it doesn't weigh very much, so it's just like a light tap with my foot and it went right in just a tiny bit, but they don't come out very easily. It's not everywhere, it's just certain places. You just got to get used to it being a concern. So let's go see if I can find a barrel cactus and show you that guy. So here's a barrel cactus. This guy has some fruits on the top. By my eye, they don't look ripe, but he's got a whole bunch of spines on him. He's got these additional ones that are kind of big and nasty, and they're the big ones with the big hooks on them. They're kind of unpleasant, but they aren't as sharp as the little spiny ones. It's a pretty cool cactus. It's just this big fat guy. That's why they call it a barrel. They like to fall over for whatever reason. I guess they're following the sun and they fall over. But I've seen some fall over in weird directions, like they were definitely not leaning for the sun, so I don't understand them. But there's the barrel cactus. There's a nice saguaro right behind it. There's my devil tree. All kinds of spikes in this place. Well, that's the local spinies here in the Sonoran Desert. I'm down near Tucson, which is down near Saguaro National Park. So since we're near Saguaro, there's a whole bunch of saguaros. And what you find around national parks is there's the area that has the national park in it, and then there's usually places around there that are just like the national park, with a few exceptions like Yellowstone and Mount Rainier and stuff like that. But there's areas you can stay outside the park that's free, but you're just boondocking it rather than paying for something. And you can still go into the parks or not, but you can get a similar experience. So outside of Saguaro here, I'm able to find a camp spot. Thanks, Pete, if I didn't mention that earlier in the video, for cluing me in. This is a really popular area, but he went here a couple weeks ago and I said, hey, that's a cool spot. So he gave me the area. And I'm glad I came and checked it out, because it's really cool, because it's like being in Saguaro National Park, at least the way I picture it right now, because I'm going to go check that out hopefully tomorrow after I do some laundry. But it's like being in Saguaro National Park, except I can park my van here, have a campfire, play loud music, do whatever I want. Walk around naked. I mean, it's a pretty, open and free area around here. So that's kind of what's nice about finding these areas near national parks, is you can experience it, but you don't have to play by all those rules. So I just got up to this sweet spot. I don't really know what's going on anywhere around here. I just picked out a spot off of iOverlander. I'm going to eat some pizza and get some rest, and then we'll hit it bright and early tomorrow and see what we got outside. Because this is one of those situations where I drive here late and I can't really see the surrounding area, so all I really see is how bumpy the road is, and then it's just tunnel vision because there's nothing else to look at. So that's the amazing part about coming in late, is you get that big reveal in the morning and you see where you're parked. Sometimes it's disappointing and sometimes it's amazing. Tomorrow, I think there's some mountains over there. Should have a good sunrise. I think that's east, and it'll all make sense again. I would have been here on time, but the GPS tried to take me through some private property, so that probably wasted about 15 minutes. I would have been here 10 minutes after sunset, except it tried to take me the wrong way. It seems Google really panics in this area. It happened a couple times. I went the wrong direction and it tried to bring me 40 miles around. It was really weird. But we're going to get some rest. I'm going to see if the Wi-Fi is working so I can watch a movie. And if not, I'll get out the movies I have on a hard drive. I have about 400 movies on the hard drive, because in the Navy there's a lot of time spent underway and you don't have internet, or at least I didn't have internet back in my day.